Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here, coming at you with some more StarCraft action. This is MSL100 number 69. This is going to be a match between Chojja and XellOs. Both players that we've seen before, so I probably won't talk about them too terribly much. But we're going to have XellOs being the purple Terran player in the top left-hand corner of the map. And we're going to see his stoic face in just a moment. There he is. Always looks super chill. And in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we're going to have Chojja, who's going to be the teal Zerg player. There he is. And again, I've talked about him before, but just to kind of go into these guys real quick. So XellOs at this point in 2005 is still a hot contender, but it's not his peak period, right? XellOs was just a commanding presence in StarCraft tournaments in like 2002-3. And on into 4, this is kind of where he's like on his way out though. Whereas Chojja is has been doing really well in 3 and 4, and is doing decently in 2005 as well. So they're kind of both not at the top of their game exactly, but you know, these are still top rate players basically. So really interested to see how this goes. Anyways, before I get too far into this, I need some feedback from you guys on 3 things. First thing is, I do want to do a live broadcast, and I have some VODs picked out. They're still just 480p VODs, so it won't be the best. But I want to do a live broadcast where I do like a tournament finals and do it all live on Twitch, basically, as if it was a real live thing, even though it's a finals from 2007. So I need to know when would be best for that. Unfortunately, I kind of have to do it when my roommates are not home, which puts it between about 9 a.m. Pacific time to maybe 7 p.m. Pacific time. And so for me, it would probably be best to do it kind of in the afternoon, like 3 or 4 in the afternoon Pacific, which would be like, you know, 6 or 7 in the evening in Eastern time, and some other ridiculous hour in the middle of the night, I guess, in Europe. So, but let me know what you guys think. I could do it earlier in the day, which would make it the evening for Europe, but I don't know if people would be able to watch it then, if it was in the morning in the United States. Anyway, let me know kind of what you guys think, and I'll try and do my best to cover whenever is possible for everyone. And just by the way, we do have an interesting hatchery position here from Chojja. He's got a pull down and a hatchery right next to his ramp. That is bizarre. And I didn't look this map up ahead of time, actually. Maybe I should have, but you can see that this map is kind of an interesting position where there's some distance between the ramp and the expansion. And it may have been because he needed to get the expansion down and needed to get creep out in front of his base, but that SCV was blocking the hatchery from going in the right spot, and he's going to put his 3rd hatchery there in that spot instead. So it's still going to be fine for the most part later on. He won't really lose much mining time, but you really need to get a production building down. So in any case, first thing I need from you guys is what time of day to do the live broadcast, and is a weekday okay, or am I going to have to do it on a weekend? It's easier again for me to do it on a weekday just because my roommates are gone, and so, or my housemates I should say. Okay, so let me know. We do have XellOs pushing down with some Marines, just to put some pressure down, force Chojja to make Zerglings instead of drones, because the Zerg can just his economy can just go crazy if you let him do his own thing, and so you got to put a little pressure on. So we're seeing these Marines run out there, and then they're not even going to go all the way to the base. I think they're just there to kind of say, all right, you have to make Zerglings, and then they need to retreat, because if he does make Zerglings, those Marines might die. It looks like he might keep them out in front though, and rally more Marines that way. But yeah, and see the Sunken Colony got another reaction there basically. So, but is he gonna go for an attack? He actually, it looks like he might be building up for a quick break attack. So hold that thought. Is he gonna build a command center though? Is he going to? I mean, he only has 1 barracks, so I'm expecting another command center. But he still might go for an early attack with a bunch of Marines with stim and a medic. I'm not sure. It's hard. You can't see if he's researching or not. Okay, thing number 2. Maybe I'll just stick to 2 things. I'll ask my 3rd thing on another video. Thing number 2 that I want to ask you guys about is I just actually, I know everyone's complaining about the VOD quality on these old videos, and I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. I just have to deal with what I have, and it's basically impossible to get the old VODs anymore. in any kind of quality other than the old VODs that I have. And actually hold that thought because we've got a stim coming in here. Is he going to push in with that stim? It looks like he's not. He's not going to make use of that stim. He's just going to fall back. The medic has healed him back up again, but he's putting pressure on, scaring the bejesus out of Chojja. And it looks like he may have even put his hatchery... Yeah, I mean, he put his hatchery in a really advantageous position. He can put those sunken colonies in a place where it protects his ramp, provides a little choke point there, etc. In any case, so the second thing is the VOD quality is terrible. I know of these old VODs, but, you know, it's all we have of these old videos. Basically, when I started doing these videos recently, I figured there's got to be so many people doing StarCraft Remastered videos and new replays and all that kind of stuff. So I want to do something a little bit different and try and bring back the old stuff and teach the new people who are maybe just finding StarCraft about the old greats and the old players. And so that's kind of why I've been doing this older stuff. But okay, we have a Hydralisk den going down here. He's going to try and build towards lurkers pretty quickly. In the meantime, just dealing with Sunkens and Zerglings to hold things off. A little bit of a precarious position. He doesn't know how many units XellOs is making, so he has to kind of over-account a little bit and just make sure that he's protecting himself. And the 3 Sunkens is going to be enough, though. So in any case, VOD quality sucks. So I want to do some replays, but earlier today, I casted a replay that I found, an old replay between Nada and another player called The Rock, who's a really cool, fun player. And I don't know if you guys know this, but if you try and do a replay of an old game in a new version of StarCraft, oh no, he catches these units out, and he doesn't realize it at first, but he's gonna get a surround. Oh no, these Marines are holding their ground fairly well, and they're gonna die and run away. That is really bad. If that group had not been stretched out in a line, if they'd been in a ball when that attack happened, that would have been gone the other direction. Well, actually, I mean, Chojja wouldn't have attacked in that case because you don't want to attack a ball of Marines and Firebats with Zerglings. That is disastrous. So a little bit of a boon for Chojja there, taking out some free Marines on his way out there. And it looks like he's killed off his own Sunken colony in order to get his Hydralisks out so they can get out onto the map as well. In any case, so I found an old replay, and I cast it, and it glitched. It glitched out, and the replay just glitched, and I didn't even realize it until, you know, things had been glitched out for 3 or 4 minutes. I was just like, why is he not defending? What is going on? And then I just realized it was because the replay was broken. Like, it was actually just broken. It wasn't working anymore. So anyway, the other thing of feedback I want to know is do you want me to upload that video even though it's only half a game? Or not? Because it's already there. I can just upload it if you guys want to, but I don't want to like tease you guys with like, oh, here's a game that it's gonna be a fun game, and then the game breaks halfway through and you don't get to finish it. So I don't know, up to you guys. But excuse me. Either way, I will try and find some replays that are not broken and get some of those up in between. But again, you know, I'm trying to cover the older players and the older games and older strategies and stuff, and it's just hard to do that. I mean, the only replays that are going to work are going to be new ones, so I don't want to like focus entirely on that because I feel like everyone else is doing that already. So, but again, I'll do whatever you guys are interested in. I'm fine with StarCraft either way. We got a little bit of an attack coming in here from Chojja. A few Lings and a couple Lurkers. Looks like he might have been searching for a third, which doesn't exist. He's going to come into the natural base instead, and is he going to get a good... Yeah, there's too many units there to go in just straight up with only 2 Lurkers and maybe a dozen Lings. So instead he's going to fall back and just kind of take a position where he's just going to harass... well, he's not going to harass, but he's in a position that's threatening with those Lurkers up above. Now what he's also going to do, though, is push out with more Lurkers. That's interesting. He canceled an egg. I'm not sure what's going on there. Queen's Nest going down. We're going to see a Spire? Is that what we're seeing here? It's hard to say. But now he's got those Lurkers in position up above. So that if XellOs tries to fall back north away from that position, it's kind of a trap. And now he's actually got more Lurkers up there as well. And is he going to just push in with a lot of stuff? We're seeing tanks out here. Looks like siege mode is not quite up yet. Siege mode is going to be very, very good against incoming Lurkers, but he's got his units spread out decently well. He's got Firebats to deal with those Zerglings in addition. It looks like 5 Lurkers total. That's a significant force there. And we do have the Spire morphing in now as well. Lots of Marines here on the low ground, a bunch of tanks. I don't know if he knows that those tanks are there. And so that could be a big difference when he goes in, if he goes in for an attack. But right now, he's just holding position out there. He's got his lurkers set up in a nice line, so that they can go in and attack. And he does scout that bottom right base. I didn't mention it because I was too busy ranting about broken replays, but he did build that 4th base down to the bottom right. So XellOs needs to do something pretty soon here. Otherwise, the Zerg is just going to out-macro him with too many hatcheries, with extra bases, etc. And it's hard for me to see if he's got a 4th base or a 3rd, actually. If that's a 4th or a 3rd down to the bottom right. It might just be his 3rd base. I thought on the kind of 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock position that was a base, but maybe it's not. Nope, that's just a clump of overlords. JK. Minimap fools me again. Chojja building up a lot of forces here. He's coming in for an attack. There's a bunker. There's tanks. Looks like 6, 7, 8 lurkers. A lot of ground units. This is going to be really difficult for Chojja to pull off. I don't know if it's quite going to work, but Greater Spire is now morphing. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. This is a map where Guardians can be very good, and he's going in with a bunch of units, catching Nod off guard, but the tanks on the high ground are going to be huge. He does not have anything to protect those lurkers, but there's just too many of them, and unfortunately they're spread out to avoid tank fire, but it's not going to be... Oh, God. Oh, ow. Oh, that hurts. That just hurts to watch. He just got slaughtered. XellOs slaughtered all of those lurkers, and now he's going for a counter push. He smells the blood in the water, and is pushing out. Okay, there is a defiler mound. I thought he didn't have defilers, in which case, why did he go out? If he's got a defiler mound, why didn't he wait and just get some defilers first before going in for the attack? It would have been 10 times more powerful with defilers involved. Greater Spire is almost finished. He's got a bunch of mutas there. XellOs pushing in for the kill. He's going to have to siege up. Are those sunken colonies, which were built earlier to push off the marine attack, are they going to buy him enough time to get these Guardians out, which could save him? The Greater Spire finishes. He morphs immediately several Guardians, and the Guardians could theoretically protect him. These slowly pushing with these tanks, and he's got enough Marines now, though, that the Marines can push in and do a lot of damage. If there were several more lurkers, those Marines would have to stay back, but I think he doesn't even realize that there's not as many lurkers there, I think. He's taking this slow and steady, pushing in slowly with the tanks to siege up onto the sunken colonies. I think if he knew that those Guardian was there and he knew there was nothing else to defend, he might have gone in, but he doesn't, and the Guardians come out, and they're able to push in and push back those medic Marines with the Zerglings as well. The lurker coming in, single lurker to come to do some extra splash damage. He does pick off the lurker immediately, but the tanks are going to die, and the Guardians are going to save the day for Chojja. That was just in the nick of time. Now, obviously, if he hadn't gone for Guardians, he would have had a bunch more lurkers and what have you. But and XellOs says, all right, well, you got Guardians there, then I'm just going to go kill your bottom right base. And Chojja says, all right, you're going to kill my bottom right base? I'm going to go with my Guardians and kill your natural. Except no, he's turned around. Looked like he was headed that direction for a moment, but the Guardians are now coming to try and save this 3rd base. I think he knows that he needs to keep that base up and running. Stim goes down. He's going to charge in for an attack any second now. No, he does not charge in. Sometimes you see they'll stim a couple seconds early in order to get the healing up and then charge in with like half the stim pack left. So they're still attacking half, but their hit points are up. And the Guardians are just going in by themselves. What is going on here? What is XellOs doing? XellOs needs to go and actually, he's got his units on hold position. He's just losing them for no reason. Oh no, that is disastrous. Those Marines, if they charged in with Stim, could have taken out 1 or 2 Guardians, but instead nothing happens. XellOs is just concentrating on his main base, and it looks like he's pushing out with a sizable force, though. This is a huge, huge army. He has 2 or 3 vessels now as well, which we saw earlier have Irradiate, so they can just pick off Guardians. It takes a while for them to die, but he can pick off Guardians. He can get a vision of the lurkers as well. We do have the defilers out now, though. He's got consume, so he's able to defile, and he does consume and get some dark swarms down there, and those dark swarms are going to protect the lurker. Oh, one of the lurkers jumps out of the dark swarm. Not the best spot. It's going to push XellOs back for now, but I mean, this is just balanced on a knife edge, and this is how it works for Zerg. Oftentimes you just are barely defending with swarms, and if you can get a couple swarms down on top of your lurkers, it's enough to defend against, you know, nearly infinite Marines for the duration of the swarm. But when that swarm wears off, it is bad news. And Anyway, so XellOs forced to fall back because the Guardians have joined in as well. Here we go. This is what Chojja needs to be accomplishing. He gets it in with a Dark Swarm, and there's another Dark Swarm on those other units, but there's nothing underneath that swarm right now. And oh no, this is the problem. No, this is what he could have. Oh no, Chojja loses 3, 4, 5 Guardians. Oh, those Guardians were just off on their own, and they were chilling right next to a little island that they could have gone up. Oh, and then he just loses the rest too. They were above the island. They were above the ridge. He could have saved them, he didn't. So this is just really bad. Chojja is picking off some vessels though, and that is crucial because those vessels are the main thing that are going to stop the Defilers from being able to stay alive and get more swarms down. In the meantime, though, that one Defiler has just been eating Zerglings and putting down more swarms. The Lurkers have stayed alive somehow in that natural expansion attack. That is not good. XellOs is basically not mining right now. So, excuse me, he's done significant damage to the Guardian count and all that, but this is not looking good at all. And now that the swarm wears off, the Defiler is dead. There's no Zerglings for it to consume. The Lurkers are finally killed off, and that attack is quelled, and it looks like he's going to be able to go back to mining. It looks like he didn't lose very many SCVs, so that's pretty good for XellOs. It's actually crucial for XellOs because he hasn't been able to get a third base up and running. So he is there, the last mineral patch. We just spot it losing, mining out in his main. He's going to float a command center over to that third base as well, but he's basically going to be only mining at 2 bases. Chojja's probably nearly mined out in his main as well, and he's only mining at 2 bases really as well. Zerg usually tends to space out their drones over more bases, but yeah, so he's got still mining full mineral patches in his main, but half the drones as their SCVs basically. But Chojja crucially has expanded to the top right. He's expanding to the mid right as well, so a ton of stuff going down. And XellOs, it looks like he's got plenty of extra SCVs, so as soon as that command center lands, he's going to be able to send in basically all the SCVs that used to be in his main over to the expansion and get a second base up and running very quickly. But Chojja is moving in for the kill here. Well, maybe not the kill, but he's moving in to do some damage, and if he's able to take out that natural expansion, that would be enough damage to set up for the kill. But the irradiates are too strong, and he irradiates both of the Defilers. Defilers, though, are able to get off enough swarms to coat this entire area. The Lurker's able to get down there inside the swarm, and XellOs says, alright, I can't defend my natural right now while these swarms are up. I'm going to go for a counterattack instead. There's 2 Defilers there, though. Is he going to be able to get down some Dark Swarms? He's able to consume the Zerglings. He needs to get a swarm down. There we go. Puts the swarm down, chills the Zerglings in the middle of the swarm. And look, is the command center going to go down? He needs to repair it. He lifts it. He lifts it. Is it going to burn down? He needs to repair it. He is repairing it. Okay, so the command center is going to survive. But in the meantime, oh, his SCVs are running right by, and he does have Plague as well. Oh, wow. Oh, it's really hard to rejoice in seeing plagues these days. Sorry, I'm just, I can't be like, oh, it's a plague, because that's a little bit too reminiscent of real life. But, okay, sorry, getting back to the game. Oh, God. Plague has been researched, and that is going to be crucial. If you can get a Plague down and then get some Lurker attacks as well, it's just able to completely destroy these Medic Marine armies. And the swarms have worn off, but oh, and Ultralisks are well. Just basically the endgame fantasy army here for Chojja. He's got Ultralisks, he's got Defilers, he's got Zerglings. He can get more Guardians if he wants to. That's something to keep in mind. He could switch back up to that. And taking out, I mean, the crucial thing is, the main thing you need to do is keep those numbers of Defilers down. If you can get 6 or 7 Defilers and they have full energy, there's nothing you can do about it. But so you need to irradiate the Defilers in order to keep, oh no, he consumes, and then the Defiler just runs into his death. He's paying attention to this army in the middle instead, chasing down and getting free Marine kills with these giant Ultralisks just destroying, just chomping away at all of these little Marines. And chasing him all the way back to his natural expansion, but he crucially, I don't think he has any Defilers to follow up those Ultralisks with, so they will not be able to pursue in and get an attack down. Now, did he lose that base at the top right? That is crucial as well. Basically, oh no, he's not. Oh man, I think this is not looking good for XellOs at all. Chojja has defended his side bases every single time. The bottom right base did not go down, even though XellOs, I think, had a moment where his units were caught on hold position. And here we go in. Chojja barreling down onto these units, but there's a lot of tanks. The tank's going to be really, really good at destroying those Ultralisks. The Ultralisks get in amongst the tanks, but I think it's too much, too late, and the Ultralisks all die. And think about it, that was like 6 Ultralisks. That's tons. That's thousands of minerals and gas just destroyed right there in that attack, and he didn't quite accomplish it. Now, here's the thing, though. XellOs is barely mining. Chojja has bases all over the damn place. He is able to replenish that very, very quickly with the amount of money he's bringing in. We're just getting a shot of the different drone counts in these different bases. It looks like one base is short on drones, but all the other bases, 1, 2, 3, 4 bases, and still a little bit in his main base are all mining. So Chojja's economy is just crazy right now. He's not full saturation at any of those bases, but he's got enough bases that it doesn't matter that even losing those Ultralisks, look at this, he's just making more Ultras to replace them. He's got a lot of Zerglings and Ultras out on the map, and if he can stop this third base, that's going to be it for XellOs. Here he goes in, Swarm goes down, there's nothing he can do, and seeing the end in sight, we're going to see a GG from XellOs. That was all that he could do. He knew he was going to lose that third base and decided not to stick in the game any longer. With that third base gone, XellOs is effectively not mining, and definitely not mining enough to keep up with the 6 base Zerg spread all around the map. Just absolutely being a monster with his economy right there. So in any case, that's going to do it for that game. Chojja wins it, and if you haven't seen it already, so this is actually a game from the Cyon MSL, and so I didn't mention this at the beginning, but I'll mention it now. Chojja actually goes on to get to the semifinals, and if you've already watched those games that I posted a couple weeks ago, then you already kind of know what happens. But if you haven't, I'll put a link right now at the end of this video so you can watch Chojja in the semifinals, and then potentially more games after that as well. So in any case, but if you've already seen that, then you know what happens. But you can watch it again if you want. Up to you. I don't care. I'm not your mom. Probably. All right, this is getting weird. I'm going to sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. And again, let me know when you want the live thing to happen. And also let me know if you want me to upload the weird bugged replay game. And I will try to get some other replay commentaries up this week if possible as well to replace that. But it was a good first half of the game. It was very, very exciting until everything stopped working and I got really confused. So, all right. Thanks for watching. Take care. GG.